Hello everyone. Welcome to Ink Stamp Create with Cindy. This is I was wanting to share with you how to tackle the 6x6 paper. I have a share going on right now that is a class that has 10 pieces of cardstock that coordinate with the New Horizons paper, a half a pack of that, and a pack of the pebbles. So I was just wanting to show you how I would go about tackling if I received that packet of 6x6 paper, the cardstock, and how I would go about doing that. So it didn't include the stamp set because you can actually use any stamp set with this whatsoever. This is a very easy, basic set of cards. Excuse me. So I'm going to use this, but you can actually use any stamp set that you own. Okay, so the 6x6 paper comes, and I did not use these two pieces in my 10 cards, but I was going to show you how I got started. So the easiest way whatsoever is to start with a card base of 5.5 by 8.5. And you would either score that or just fold it in half. Then your paper's too big for this. So then you would go and, I've lost my bone folder. Of course I have. So what I did was I took a piece of the 6x6, and for the soft succulent paper, I decided to put this on like here. So when you see the paper, you can decide where you want it and then cut. For instance, this piece here, I would cut off here, here, and here to get my 4 inches by 5.25. So the easiest way whatsoever would be to do this. No mats for this one. This one here is just going to be right on the, of course it's not going to stick. There we go. Having a little technical difficulties. So I would just stick this on here like here, try to keep it straight. Now you could mat this if you like, but I was trying to keep it pretty simple. And so for this card here, it would be, the designer series paper would be 4 by 5.25. The card bases would be 5.5 by 8.5 and folded in half. Okay, so I pulled my stamp set then. And this one here would make a really nice thinking of you card. And to make this very simple, I'm going to use just black ink for these cards. And my favorite black ink is the Memento Tuxedo. Okay, so I can actually put this anywhere I want, but I kind of like it down here. Okay, so the other little trick I do is all the little pieces I cut off, I keep those handy because just in case I have a embellishment opportunity or something doesn't stamp very well, I can either use a piece of this that I have and stamp on it, or I also keep handy some strips that are a 1/2 inch wide or 3/4 of an inch wide. And then I can stamp because if you're like me, you have opportunities to have to fix some things. Okay, so you could send this to someone and it would be perfectly fine to send it just like that. But we don't usually do that. We usually try to snazz it up just a little bit. So you have a couple options. And if you were going to embellish this at all, you'd want to use other inks. For this one, if I'm only doing a greeting only, I'd probably just stick with the black. But since I'm going to use this, I'm going to pull out some Evening Evergreen. To pull out the Evening Evergreen up here at the top. And that just kind of grounds the bottom so it doesn't look like there's just words right there. The other thing I can do, I have my little cleaner here. Yes, it's really ugly, but it does a great job. Is to put some little trees up here. This also has this little stand of trees. Oh, there it is. I hope you guys like this as much as I do. This, I'm going to miss the, I can't believe it didn't go onto the new catalog because I love this paper. Love, love, love this paper. Now, I'm going to do this in Soft Succulent. I'd like it to be just sort of subtle. And it's really subtle, all right. See my little trees back there? It's just one of those things that it kind of gives it a little something, but not. Shows up a little more there. Okay. So now this one here, I'm going to, I think this looks like it's too stark right there. So what you can do, either stamp off and stamp it again, or I'm going to take the Soft Succulent and kind of offset it. So it kind of gives it a little more muted look. I could have also done that in Crumb Cake, but I chose to bring back in that, Soft Succulent. Okay, so my sky is just way too stark. So we're going to fix that and give that some birds. This has a really nice set of birds. So I'm just going to do those in black. Make sure I have them fly in the right direction. And so that is my first card. That is just ink and paper, and I think it just makes a really nice thinking of you card. Now, if you wanted to step that up just a little bit, I took this one and I punched a little hole here in the top. Just a little tiny hole, and then put the linen thread through a few times. So that's just another step above. And then on this one, I put some green trees from the Campology set here. So there's our first one. So that is the first way to make a simple card out of that 6x6 paper. Okay, so move this because I already did that one. The next choice is to take the paper, and it's 6x6, and I cut 3-inch squares and decided we're going to make a card. So you could actually do 4 cards. I cut 2 of them. And then the base, the mat for that is 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. Oops. So we'll mat that. I just took white thick cardstock, our basic white thick. Because we are trying to just do very basic cards. I did not, this would be really cool embossed, but I thought this would make a nice retirement card. So I am going to use some dimensionals and pop this up. There's certain things I absolutely have to do. I have to have dimension. On every card has to have dimension. Now, one of the other ways we could have gotten dimension, after I stamped this retirement wishes and the palm trees, and I used the set for this one, the Paradise Palm set. After I did that, I could have run that through an embossing folder and given that texture. Okay, so that one says retirement wishes, and I'm going to put this, hope you find a little paradise wherever you may be. I think that would make a very nice retirement card. Because I do love to make retirement cards. This is another one I'm not going to embellish. I could have used my pebbles, but just very, very simple. And that is just designer series paper. That piece that was 6 by 6 cut in 3 by 3s, stamped, put a greeting, and put another little greeting down here. My little pebbles would look adorable right here. Okay, so there is our second option. The third option is to, oops, don't want to confuse you. Okay, so this one, I took the designer series paper, decided which part of it I liked. I like this little section through the middle here. So then I cut that section 3 inches by 5 1/2. And then the mat is 3 1/4 by 5 1/2. And my card base is gray granite, and it is 5 1/2 by 8 1/2. So put this one here. Okay, intentionally I left this longer because I want to show you. Now, if you're a person that really likes it to have a little bit of black around the whole edges, then you would cut this down to 5 1/4. I think this mountain scene needs to be the whole length, so I kept it the whole length of the 5 1/2, or the whole 6, but I was going to show you. All I have to do is decide where I do want it, and I want it at 5 1/2. Decide which end you want to cut off. I like these taller mountains over here. So I am going to leave that like that. Okay. My Stampin' Seal Plus and I have a love-hate relationship. I love it too much to give it up. But it doesn't always cooperate. Okay, same thing on here. I'm going to put this on here like this, and I think it gives it a whole different look rather than just a straight card. So I want to put some birds on here because I do love the birds. Let them fly the right direction. Okay, I'll mount that up here. I know that people get very intimidated by looking at that 6x6 piece of paper, or it's even worse with a 12x12 piece of paper. So that's why I wanted to show you the people that especially that purchased this, or ones that have purchased the paper from their demonstrator and aren't really sure what to do with it after you get it. Oops. I know my little bone folder's here. So what I do sometimes when my bone folder is missing, I take the edge of the block, because I like them to lay flat. And so this is going to go side to side on my card. Just need to keep it straight. That black paper behind it makes it pop up even more. Then I have two options to put my greeting down here or here in the water. So since I've already popped that up, my thinking of you is going to be down here at the bottom. Because it would be an embellishment opportunity. Okay. So a couple things I could have done was use linen thread, same kind of a thing. I could have done whatever, but I just like how subtle the card is. It does everything for itself. So I like that. Okay, so that is option number 3. Okay, so option number 4, I have 2 cards to show you option number 4. And that is taking the designer series paper at 2 inches by 5.5, or I could do 2 inches by 5 1/4, but I'm going to do, I'll show you both so you can actually see. Then the mat is 2 1/4 by 5.5. Okay, so I had this paper after I'd cut off the bottom of the, for another card, and I thought, I should use this. So for this one, we are going to mount it so you can see the black all the way around the edge. Put my little birds on there first. I think that looks nice, them flying in the little sunlight there. Here in the middle. This one is going to be on the gray granite piece. My missing bone folder is still missing, so get my dimension by putting my dimensionals on here. I have the little backs everywhere. Okay, so I'm going to put this one up just a little bit higher because I'm going to use a little bigger greeting down here at the bottom. And I have, I'm going to put this relax and enjoy your day. Just kind of serene. So now I'm going to show you a different way to do this same card. Okay, so I'm going to, this is basic white thick, and I'm going to score that. Whoops. Back you go. Then I had this little strip left from the very pretty piece. So I'm going to put it here on the black, and I'm going to do a vertical instead of horizontal, because this one I done in horizontal. This one. So both of these, you could do the 3 by 5.5 piece, or the piece that is 2 inches by 5.5 here. You could do them horizontal or vertical. Okay. Now, this is going to go on here just like this. And so that one, you could actually make 3 cards out of a 6 by 6 because this is only 2 inches wide. So I'm going to pull back my little weeds here. Lost my ink pad. Then that's going to be popped up right there. It's a big dimensional night. I use all my edges on my videos because we waste no dimensionals. Absolutely not. I'm very excited that the Stampin' Up! Catalog, this mini catalog, goes through the end of May, because then there's plenty of things to hold over. And I love this paper, so I was really happy that it is holding over. Excuse me. Okay. So when I look at my stamp set here, I have my relax and enjoy your day. And I think that's what we're going to go with. Even if you want to make this into a birthday card, you still can make this into a birthday card because Relax and enjoy your day. It's definitely a birthday greeting. Okay, so I'm going to grab a couple of these markers. And I am going to, these are really just like abstract little flowers here, and I'm going to continue that color over here. Just because it's so green. I'll show you a little closer. It just kind of takes and just continues these colors over here just a little bit. The only other thing you could do is add like a cloud or something. But like I said, we're trying to keep these really, really simple, really simple. Now this one right here looks way too simple to me. So I think it's time to give that some grass. And that is green, and I need it to stay green. It just needed something that was too sparse right there. As you might guess, I needed it to go clear across the edge. So I just stamped off so I could get a second like tinge of color there. So get rid of that. So here are the two different cards we did using the same pattern here of designer series paper that was 2. This is the 2" by 5 1/4, so you can see the black all around the edge. This is the 2 by 5 1/2. So that is those 2 cards. This one is the 3" wide by 5 1/2. This one is the 3 by 3 by 3 1/4 by 3 1/4 matte, and then the white base. And this is the 4" by 5 1/4. So that is 4 different ways to use that 6 by 6 paper to make your cards. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoy. I'll have some more cards posted in a variety of the different ones. So I will add those in at the end. But thank you for watching. Happy stamping. Cindy at Ink Stamp Create with Cindy.